We can make pride shirts and just make these all rainbow colored.
Or not at all. If we were going to do it, it'd have to have something super sarcastic on the back.
Yeah.
Quick, be cool while it's gay.
Yeah.
No, wait. Quick, be gay while it's cool.
Quick, be cool while it's gay.
Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
What up, America? I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the lost art of common sense. And this week we will be talking about Trump indictment, part 2, explosion sounds. So we're going to be talking about the new indictment, over his classified files that he kept, or alleged classified files, and kind of get into this a little bit. Then maybe if we have time, we'll get into some other topics. I don't know what, but let's start this thing off. Josh, what do you think of this indictment? And let's give a percentage of what you think his chances are of actually being found guilty and having to serve time. I mean, actual like prison time, not like house arrest.
Well, if you've noticed both indictments, they hit him with a shit ton of them, 30 plus in both, and they do that because they just need one to stick. I don't think, unless they literally want, and I think they do, so they probably will try to put him in jail. If they put him in jail, I think the social fabric falls apart because it's already bad enough that they're. It's a bullshit indictment. There's other people that did way fucking worse that didn't get indicted, and it's 1,000% political. So, like, I think the chances of actually being behind bars are zero, depending on the jury. It's kind of up in the air because, yeah, some of the tapes he has looks really bad. So I don't know what a jury really think, but at the same time, it's Trump. So the only argument he has for that tape is that he was just being Trump and trying to make it sound more special than it was. So he'd be like, no, I really did declassify it. I was just saying that it wasn't, so I would impress this person who I was trying to impress with this impressive paper.
Yeah, I get it. I think
that's your only defense.
I
don't
mean,
know what else you could do.
I don't either. I don't know. I would say, I think this indictment is stupid. Everybody, there's been a bunch of people who had classified information. Joe Biden, Mike Pence. I think there's some other people that probably had it. Obama, Hillary Clinton. All these people had classified information at their houses or on servers or whatever, and nothing happened to them. And I think this is obviously political. No matter what anybody says, unless you're a fucking idiot, you have to know this is political. I mean, you have to go out of your way and somehow think that all the other people, somehow it wasn't the same when it obviously was. And that's what you keep hearing. It's not the same because they turned him over right away. Did they? Because Joe Biden had classified information from when he was a senator like 15 fucking years ago. So did he turn him over right away 15 years later?
Yeah, he turned him over when he got caught.
And I think there's actually a chance he could go to jail for this. And I think I would give it a 30% chance.
Well, what do you think the reaction would be if they actually put him behind bar? And what? Okay, so I'm gonna throw a little thing in there, even though you're running the show, because I have good questions. What do you think would happen if he actually gets sentenced and they try to put him in jail? And what does jail look like for an ex-president?
I don't know what jail looks like for an ex-president. I don't know because he wouldn't go. He'd be a white-collar criminal, I think. Probably I don't know what they call them. Were they like FedEx or something? Club Med type of prison.
FedEx. What the fuck does that have to do with prison?
I don't know.
They ship you there really fast and overnight.
He had overnighted, man. Club Med type of prison, I guess, is what I meant.
Now, if he gets convicted, would he still have his Secret Service detail?
He has to. He's a fucking ex-president, right?
Yeah, I guess I can't really. I don't know. See, that's
this hasn't happened before. What would happen if he does get to America?
What do you think would be the reaction?
America would burn.
Do you think that's what they want, so they can come in and say, "Oh, it's too violent. We have to ban all guns"?
They can say, "Okay, so first you put your political opponent in fucking jail. Then you're like, hey, we want to take away your guns." You don't think there's going to be a civil war?
Yeah, I think at that point I could see that possibly being the fuse that lights the powder keg, and then Trump being like, "Man, I really wish I wouldn't have been okay with banning the bump stocks."
Yeah, you could have used them right now, couldn't you?
And what Hillary did was way fucking worse.
Oh yeah,
because hers wasn't even she had documents. She had top secret communications on a server that she wiped.
Unsecured server.
And then when she was subpoenaed, she wiped it and then destroyed her cell phones.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Well, when you can get away with murdering people, what's a few emails?
Well, and that's why I heard a couple things which, makes sense. You had Jesse Waters come out and talk about the Presidential Archive Act, some shit to do with Clinton and Obama appointed judge, where Clinton used to record world leaders in an Oval Office, which is, I think I remember when that came out, it was pretty embarrassing. And they were talking about, what to do about foreign affairs, attack plans, shit like that. He just had him in a sock drawer. And the judge ruled that only the president or ex-president can determine what's personal effect and what's for presidential archive. So, and it doesn't matter if it's top secret or what. So, on that basis,
and I think that's
none of it matters.
I think that's the argument. The thing that is going to be harder to argue is the fact that he did have some some strategic battle plans or something, if they were to invade here or there.
Yeah, it was Iran.
Yeah. So, I guess that is a little different, but really, I think they just packed up a bunch of shit. And he just
but if you're recording every conversation you have with world leaders in your office, you don't think Clinton ever talked about any of that shit?
Oh, I know.
And
you don't think he ever shared it with Hillary?
What was it, Marco Rubio, senator from Florida?
Yeah.
He made the argument too, is there really a crime when nobody was harmed? Because nobody was harmed at all.
No.
The national security was, because they never leaked.
No.
He had him and they got him back. So there was no national security breach. So nobody was technically harmed. So if nobody's harmed, is it really a crime?
No. He didn't have the intent to harm anybody either. He didn't have the intent to sell it.
Yeah. So, those are two good points brought up. So I don't know. And then I don't think there's any way this sees a courtroom before the election.
Well, the New York ones, he will.
If they don't get most of those dismissed.
Who knows? Manhattan.
But I
think he has a better chance.
I'm talking about this federal one.
Yeah, I think he has a better chance of getting convicted in New York than he does in Miami.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it's going to see a courtroom.
It might not.
Not because the problem with this case is the top secret shit, because you have to have. That's another thing about the Biden people. He had lawyers that didn't have clearance seeing this top secret shit or confidential, whatever the fuck it is he had. But you have to have lawyers that can see it, and then you have to have witnesses that can see it. So this is going to be a long, drawn-out fucking process.
Well, it's going to take forever just to find people to be able to pass a clearance to be able to see.
Yeah, and then if he wins, he just pardoned himself.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So, speaking of this, is this a witch hunt? I would guess pretty much anyone in Washington who works for the government, other than maybe a couple interns, have probably classified information at their house. This has to be a total witch hunt, a total hey, we're going to go after my main political rival. This is obviously something that is just beyond belief of what's happening to America. What's happening to America? I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand how we got here. I don't understand how we even voted in a doddering old fool, air quotes. Not the doddering old fool part. That part's true. The voted in part's the air quotes. But yeah, I just don't. This is definitely a witch hunt, right?
Well, let's just say I believe that they should rename the capital to Salem, D.C.
Now, let me ask you a question. This isn't part of anything I put down here, but this question: Can a president move the capital?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because the capital is like it's a set aside spot of land.
But
Like it's not even technically a state. It's like its own thing.
Yeah, but could you move it?
You'd have to annex the land somewhere.
Yeah, let's just say they find some farmland in Iowa.
Well, I guess technically they could. You'd fuck over anybody in that area as far as having a congressman or a senator. And they shouldn't have a congressman or a senator. I don't give a fuck about the dipshits in Washington. You have no representation because you're not technically not part of the 50 states.
No, you're
plus all the colonies.
Well, you saw they're trying to get. There's a chance.
Oh yeah, because they want 2 more Democrat senators.
Yeah, what Puerto Rico and.
How fucking hard is it for people to not realize that nobody gives a shit about what the Democrats want to do or a majority do it, and if they had America and history on their side, they wouldn't be doing all this fucking mail-in by voting, trying to make mailing or voting less secure and easier to do. They wouldn't be trying to make fucking Washington, D.C. a state. They wouldn't be doing any of that shit. The only reason they're doing it is because they know that they've pushed too far. And granted, we live in a very comfortable country, so it takes a really long time. And you can call it American privilege because anyone born in the United States is automatically better off than 90% of the world. But that's why people don't wake up right away. Like even like these suburban white women that are really the backbone of the far left because apparently they're dumb, dripping with privilege because all the fucking shit that they vote for or what?
Those suburban white women are looking out for the minorities and the disenfranchised so they can
doing nothing to help
them. They can tell their wine club how good they are to the blacks and the Mexicans.
Well, and that's gays. Why I think Jesse Waters said it on the 5. I caught it on the radio today. The left and all these people want to feel like they're doing something and they want to spend money on the problem but not actually fix it.
What problem? All right, this is what I don't get about minorities. And we'll get into this maybe next week or whatever. I don't understand how they can constantly vote the same people who constantly don't help them, who say they will, but never do. What have they done to actually help the black community, these immigrants, and gay? I mean, they probably did help the gay people because they are just pushing the shit out of that.
They're not helping.
It's not really gay people.
They lead every single thing that they get behind. They take it too far, and it ends up with a backlash. They stretch it out till the band breaks. And the only thing I can think of is either you've just been conditioned to think you actually believe their bullshit, and you think that this time it's going to work, or they're on some kind of assistance in some way, or shape, or form, and you have one side pushing to dial those back, which is
and make people work.
Well, and people think that's a dick move, but what they're offering you is freedom, financial freedom from being held prisoner by all these things. I don't want to get too far into it because we will talk about it.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I just think a lot of it's just virtue signaling, like these suburban white women.
That's 1,000% all it is. Like the left lost the culture war in the 60s when they were trying to keep black people segregated. And once they lost that, then they flipped script and being like, well, okay, we lost that. So then they did. There was a change. They changed to saying, well, you're being discriminated against. You are, just filling their minds with like how they're being held down and why they can't do anything. I don't want to talk about it anymore, Kevin, because we have an episode that we're going to do about this.
Okay.
You get too far into it.
Okay.
All right.
So,
God.
all right. So, have you watched the Tucker Carlson episodes?
Yes.
Did you see the new one? I haven't seen the new one yet. Number 4.
No.
There's number 4 that came out. You might have missed it.
I saw number 3.
Yes, and that's what I want to talk about. Because he said in episode 3 of Tucker Carlson's show on Twitter, so it's about 10 minutes, so I suggest everyone check it out. They're about 10 minutes long, 10 to 15. They're not very long, so you can, watch it anytime. It won't ruin your whole day. Well, I might, because he talks about some stuff that, pretty eye-opening. But
his last video had 10 million views.
Yeah. So 10 million and one, because I just watched it again. So in episode 3, he said it's because Trump has criticized, even called out the military war machine that gives our fair and just government officials and bureaucrats their spending dough. Do you think this is the main factor why this indictment is actually happening?
I mean, maybe. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but I do know that it's his attack on the swamp and him calling out. I mean, he did call out, but that's what he did. He did call out.
He called out the swamp almost immediately.
Yeah,
because he knew the people who were in the swamp.
So, I mean, yeah, like his whole outlook on Washington, which I truly believe if he would have got reelected, and if he gets reelected, his goal, because at that point, once your second term, you're kind of a lame duck anyway. But that doesn't stop you from firing as many motherfuckers in Washington as you can.
Why would it? Yeah.
And I think that's what they're afraid
That's when you go out with a vengeance.
That's why I was wondering if you thought that they're doing this for either A, they're super afraid of him, and if he gets elected, obviously the dude carries a grudge and he carries through with his people pissing him off. Or are they doing this to piss off America to start a revolt so they can really clamp down on us?
In all honesty, I think it's a little column A, a little column B.
Yeah, I think it's a little spritz of both.
A little spritz of everything. I think people are afraid of him. I think that's why immediately he was chastised. He was, looked down upon. Why they made so many slanderous remarks about him, like he's racist, he's a bigot, he's anti-gay, he's anti-black, he's all these things were untrue things. Like he was a huge supporter of the black community before he was anything other than a businessman. He was the first, I think, for the. He was trying to end gay violence throughout the world was one of his agendas. Like not gay people being violent, but violent acts upon gay people.
That's what's funny. The same people that push for weird, not just gay rights, because there's no such thing. I don't think anybody gives a shit if somebody's gay anymore. The weird stuff, but the people that are pushing that shit are also the ones that are like, oh, you're Islamophobic because blah, 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 Sharia law. It's like, yeah, you do realize they throw gay people off of roofs, right?
That's why I was saying why there's so many people in the LGPWRX WKRP community that are so pro like Palestine, Do they know what they do to those people in Palestine?
Yeah. Go over there and try to demand the rights you already have here.
Wave your rainbow flag and see what happens to you.
Yeah, like fly your rainbow flag above an Iranian flag.
I'm not saying like the Israelites.
Did they fly the trans flag or gay flag above the flag, the U.S. flag, or like was it at the same height?
At the White House?
Yeah.
No, the center flag was just the gay flag.
So it was above the United States flag.
Yeah, then the United States flag was on each side of the gay flag.
Was it higher or lower?
I think it was higher.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that. There's only one state in this great nation that can fly the flag at the same height as the U.S. flag. What state is that, Kevin?
I'm guessing Texas because you
Texas, baby. And that's because Texas was once its own country,
Yes.
its own republic.
You guys
But
are idiots.
that's what I'm
you guys
saying.
are
Like, yeah.
idiots for coming to America.
Go over there and fly a trans flag above an Iranian flag and have a a protest or whatever, a get together, gathering, whatever the fuck they're called, and see how that turns out. And then let's see who's really tolerant and who's not.
Yeah. I don't get it.
People don't give a shit. They're just tired of fucking it being like, you're going to believe that this person's a woman or a man. No, I'm not.
I'm pretty sure they're not very. I'm pretty sure they're not very tolerant in Ukraine either.
No, they're not. But it's
Damn.
like, am I going to like call them out in public? No. But
No.
it's like, I have determined that Buffalo Bill at our local Lowe's down here is either A, Buffalo Bill, and is a serial killer, or he's in a rock band. Those are the only two explanations I can come up with.
Do I look pretty?
It's kind of how he talks. He has the same voice. He doesn't come over and help me like he used to.
This is like your bearded trans guy that has his nails done.
It's like I wouldn't even know if he's trans. He just wears makeup. He has his nails done. He always comes over and helps dudes, and he always like makes sure you can see his nails. I mean, he's a nice enough guy. But like I said, he's either like in a rock band or he's dealing with something and he's in crisis. And I don't know if like there's certain managers that don't like him dressing up total weird, because some days he'll have like red lipstick and all this shit on and wearing like weird grandma clothes from the 60s. And other days he has no makeup on and regular clothes, but he always has like those wedge style lady shoes on. He always wears those.
Really?
Yes.
They can't be.
But like I said, nice enough guy. But to me, it either seems like somebody in crisis or the dude can probably shred a guitar like no other. That's all I can think
Maybe he can. Who knows? Maybe he's got a great singing voice.
No.
You know, he's like the guy from...
I've heard Buffalo Bill sing. Did he have a good singing voice?
Yeah. Like Chewbacca.
I guess I should call him Amarillo Bill.
Amarillo Bill. That's a good name for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, people call people like Amarillo Slim or something, you know?
I don't know. You want to see some interesting people, go to any of the hardware stores in Amarillo.
Really?
That's where they all hang out.
That's so weird.
There's another dude that's obviously a dude rocking a pretty huge perm and wears makeup. But, you know, you can tell he's a dude, not trying to pretend he's a woman. He just likes wearing that
just
big old
a
perm.
Dude that likes the little perm and a little fucking makeup.
The headband. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember what the fuck the question was.
So weird.
We got off track there, Kevin.
It was the Tucker Carlson thing.
Oh, yeah, but like, I don't. No, well, then we got off on like why they do this shit here. Oh, guess what? These people have to. But yeah, like go over there and try the same thing and see if they're as tolerant as you think we're not.
Yeah.
Like if you want to see real intolerance, leave the United States.
Yeah, other than like Canada and like England.
But yeah, I think you definitely. To your question, I think he
angered the
questioned
swamp, right?
the wrong people.
He angered the swamp, and the swamp.
Yeah, he's shedding a light on it. Now, like half the country doesn't believe half the shit that comes out of Washington. That's a dangerous spot.
Yeah.
And this fucking indictment does not help that.
You know what I think I might do? I think this election.
Start a Parcheesi club?
It's going to be a club. But it's going to be a club about ending anybody who's up for Senate or House who's had more than 2 terms.
Are you going to run against old Chuck and his son?
I might.
You going to break the
Who's going to fund me?
I'll give you $1.
Sweet. I got it.
I'll start your Give, Send, Go account.
I mean, eventually, if people would like, subscribe, and share our podcast, I could maybe make some money and run for government.
Yeah, I feel like that's not hard to do. Click.
Literally clicks.
And then just write in the comments, douchebags. That's fine.
We spend hours and days trying to entertain you people And you can't click 3 times?
I mean, come on. Click, 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 douchebags. That's all we're asking for.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get back on topic. The Trump thing. Is Trump partially to blame for this? The former and possibly future president is an egotistical man, as we all know, and doesn't like to be told what to do. He knew they were gunning for him this whole time. I mean, he knew that he was going to be they were going to go after him. And he did some pretty foolish things that have real chance of getting him thrown, that have given him a real chance of being thrown in prison. I mean, is this partially Trump's fault that this is even a thing?
Yeah, I mean, that's always been Trump's problem. He is really good at handing out ammo. Not the good kind of ammo that I would take.
No, he's definitely not handing out like fucking 9mm and.
Yeah, I mean, how hard is that? I mean, come on.
40 cal.
If we were a true free nation, every citizen in the United States would get government issued at least 100 rounds of something.
Why can't I get cheese
every year?
Why can't I get cheese and bullets?
Yeah, cheese and bullets. Government cheese is delicious.
I know.
And shooting guns is fun.
Just send me a block of cheese every 3 months and send me, let's just say 50 bullets every 6 months.
I'd be fine with that.
But I get to pick what bullets I want.
I would say he's definitely, I mean, he has a hand in it because I'm not saying necessarily he does anything wrong, but it's just some of the stuff he said on Twitter. He brings on himself a lot of shit that he shouldn't have to deal with. Like, that's the biggest thing why some people get burnt out on Trump, because it's like, fuck, he caused this, he caused that. Like, why are you doing this? But it's hard to tell with him because either he's just the luckiest man on the planet, or he really is playing some version of 4D chess that just none of us ever fucking gets. Because it does seem like most of the bullshit he brings on himself works out for him.
It really does. And maybe that is it, because every time he gets indicted, his percentage of, people back him more. So maybe this is 4D chess. But yes, this is definitely partially his fault. He got recorded saying a document was classified that he could have declassified while he was president, but he can't now. I mean, to a reporter.
That was one of the things when I heard that, I'm like, why the fuck would you even say that?
Why would you ever say that? That's got to be one of the dumbest things anybody's ever done.
Yeah, but it's weird because he says stuff like that all the time. Like, oh, that's the dumbest thing you could ever fucking say. And somehow he fucking turns it to his advantage. I don't know how. That's fucking stupid. With that
that is dumb.
Are you kidding me?
And
that's why I feel like we should be running his campaign if he would listen to us.
Exactly. Well, not his campaign, but my campaign. And government cheese and bullets would be my number one goal. So if you don't want your bullets, you can turn them for cheese. We won't ask your name.
You can either get double cheese or cheese and bullets, or nope, you have to take the cheese because the cheese is delicious.
Always take the cheese. I don't care if you're allergic to milk or whatever.
There's
Give it
no
away.
Milk in government cheese.
That's true. That shit lasts forever. Yeah, so cheese for everyone. Well, that's my promise as a candidate. I'm just saying. Government cheese is delicious.
Vote for Kevin. Cheese and bullets, and that's it.
That's it. That's my whole platform.
Cheese and bullets.
Cheese and bullets, buddy. Cheese and bullets.
Well, if we ever have a total, like, fucking Mad Max economical collapse, bullets will be the next currency. Because gold ain't worth shit.
Nope.
I mean, I guess you could hit
somebody with it. Well, if cheese is the next currency, either way,
food and ammunition.
Yeah. And you're going to have plenty of it because of this guy. Cheese and motherfucking bullets.
I'm just setting you up for when I totally fuck shit up. You're welcome.
You're my campaign manager, so.
You destroyed the country, yeah, but you got cheese and bullets.
Look how much cheese and bullets you have.
You're welcome. Apology accepted.
I saved you. Everybody else fucked you over. Not for me. You would have nothing. So can you run for, let's say he does get convicted. I don't know if he can run for president with a felony conviction, but I don't know if you're in the appeal process, if that changes things.
I'm not 100% sure.
If you do think he has a chance to win, and he's in jail, or prison, he would obviously pardon himself, right?
Yeah, like if
Does
he
he have that power? I think that'd be the greatest thing
No,
ever.
they've already determined that you can. So if you can become president, and the only reason I think you
I
might
wonder
be
what
able
happened.
to,
Can you pardon yourself for the future? Like, I pardon myself up until the day I die.
no,
That's bullshit.
I'm
I
pretty sure you
future
can't,
pardon myself.
I'm gonna fuck up real bad in about the next
I'm
5
gonna do
years.
some shit when I get out of here. Whoo, it's gonna blow your mind.
See, I'm not 100% sure. Oh, for one thing, if he gets convicted in New York and those dipshits are dumb enough to try to put him in prison, he can't pardon himself from that. Only a governor can. If it's a felony and he hasn't been sentenced yet, and then he happens to win, then yeah, he could pardon himself. But I'm not 100% sure if that keeps you from running for president. And I say that.
I could have sworn that somebody ran for president from jail.
Well,
from prison.
No, there has been. And I know the son of one of that dude's running mates.
What?
I used to work with him. Yeah.
No.
One of the equipment operators I used to work with back in the day, who I just ran into yesterday, him and his son-in-law are on a country tour. His dad ran with his
Was that the guy you thought was dead?
Yes.
I didn't know. Does he listen
I
to our
heard
show?
from him.
Does he listen to our show? He does? So
we're
all glad you're not dead.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Actually, he doesn't look any different than the last time I saw him, but it was really good seeing him. But that dude, I can't remember the guy who ran for president in like every election, like for like 5 from prison.
So yes, he can run from prison then.
I guess, yeah. I mean, because he was fucking in jail.
I thought he couldn't, but
I don't know. That guy did. Maybe that's why he never won.
Something you learn new. I mean, I could have swore I looked it up though.
Mm-hmm. You're dumb. You're a dummy.
Fucking Google, man.
I don't know if he can or not. I just know the guy ran.
I'm pretty
Maybe
sure
you can run so they get the money, but then they're like, well, you won, but you can't be president because you're in jail.
I don't know.
I don't know. Our government's all full of fuck you traps.
I guarantee if he goes to prison, he's still on the ballot, he will win. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not. Because
he needs to really start. Okay, for one thing, he needs to stop moving his policies to the left to try to. He
kind of changed that, orders.
I think. He needs to. Like, that was fucking stupid. What he needs to do is he needs to do it like he did when he ran in 2016. He needs to go into minority areas and just say, look at where you're at. Look at from like 1960s and now. Look what's happened to your neighborhood. Look where you're at. Look what you're voting for. Literally, voting for me cannot do anything but make things better. There's no possible way of making it worse because most of these areas are fucking pretty bad. So he needs to do more of that. Because like they say, if the Democrats lose, if they don't retain at least like 70% of the black vote, they won't ever win another election.
Yeah, probably.
So
I mean, it's getting closer because I think Trump took 23% of the black vote, or was it lower?
Yeah.
Was
well,
it
and I'm not 100% sure why the hell Democrats think all these illegals are going to vote for him because most illegals,
highly Christian.
Yeah, they're not down with all the weird.
These devout Catholic Hispanics are not going to vote for your crazy ass.
That's why Trump's been pulling so many of the Spanish.
Why do you think DeSantis won? Fucking DeSantis destroyed in Florida because he got like a huge amount of the Hispanic vote. I think he got like 60%.
Yeah, he doesn't have to placate to the left to win.
No,
he just needs to make a case. That's why I thought
he needs to put down policy what he's going to do. Like what he did in 2016. This is the shit I'm going to do. I'm going to fix the border. I'm going to fucking make you fucking make more money. And, I'm going to fucking take out the DOJ and FBI and revamp the whole thing.
Well, and not just that Russian dude. We're in the crisis thing. There's a guy who wrote a book that says basically history repeats itself every 80 years.
Every 80 years. Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, so I might have sent it to you.
I think you did.
But like supposedly we're in crisis mode, so he might be the one to pull us out of it. And then the guy working at a gas station can afford to buy a house.
Well, it says every 20 years, so he said the last.
No, we're in the last part of the 80.
Yeah, but I mean, I think 2008 is when the third stage ended and the new one started.
Absolutely.
So we're close to getting out of it, buddy.
Hopefully,
like 5 more years.
But like, yeah, I think if he like does what he did on Tucker Carlson, and just like, because that's how you can get past all the bullshit that they're gonna lay on. Because like, if I was running against him, I would be bringing up COVID and vaccine all the fucking time. But like, you just ignore that as noise, and you point out the problems that we have right now in the country and the policies that you're going to enact that's going to fix it. So that's how I would do it, and that's why we should be his campaign managers.
So he says he'll end the Ukraine and Russian. That might be why they're going against him.
I really think he could actually do that.
Oh, I think so too, and I think that's also a reason they don't want him to be president.
Yeah, like I don't know if he could end it, but he would definitely get a ceasefire.
Yeah,
within a day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He might even bomb Russia just to do it. I don't know. You
don't know what he's going to do, and that's why people listen to him, because you don't know what he's going to do.
They didn't believe me, but they believe me a little bit, and that's all you need.
So, the seal has been broken. Even Trump, when he became president, said he would not, send the DOJ after Hillary Clinton for stuff, for all the emails and shit.
Should have.
Yes. But do you think every president from here on out that gets elected will have a serious chance to go into prison after a switch of power? What are the consequences of the action of the Biden DOJ? What are going to be the future ramifications of this fucking political witch hunt?
Well, the results of what they did makes us a banana republic, period. We are now not a real republic. We're a banana republic. But here's the thing. Like, Biden is being investigated, or there's allegations of him taking a $5 million bribe. And there's apparently tape and all that shit. If you fucking break the law, I don't care if you're Mother Teresa. If the statutes of limitations haven't ran out, you should be investigated. And if you committed a crime, you should be indicted. You should be, tried. And if you're found guilty, go to jail. I don't give a fuck who you are. But it does set up a bad precedent, because now it's like, all right, well, you got our guys, your guy, all this bullshit. The consequences are going to be no good person, and we already have a problem with good people running for president will run because of all the bullshit that goes with it. I mean, like Chris Christie's running. What a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Like, he thinks he's all like, can the dude like talk off the cuff good? Yeah. But he's a fucking piece of shit slob that nobody likes. He's like, yeah, I wanna, debate Trump so I can be like, you did this, you did that. I was like, yeah, well, you got spotted by a helicopter because you're huge as the only person on the beach when you lock down the state of New Jersey. I'm just saying.
That's true, though.
I'd be like, will somebody check on him? Is he having a stroke? He's husky. We need to keep an eye on him.
I can smell your sweat 30 feet away. Stop it, Chris Christie. You smell like Big Macs and shame.
But those are the kind of people we're going to get.
Oh, I know.
You won't get good, now, already.
I mean, it's hard. We don't really have a lot of good people left going for any kind of political office anywhere.
No, Trump did it, and he lost over $1 billion.
Yeah, and he got persecuted for it.
Yes.
So, I mean, why would anybody else want to?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else. Is there anything?
I don't have any general discussion because I got to drain my dingle, so I think we should probably just end it.
Okay. Well, that sounds like something. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. I forgot how we end this.
I'm Kevin. And I'm Josh.
And this was The Lost Art of Common Sense.
Common sense, baby!
Common sense!
Common sense!
Common sense!
We'll see y'all next week.
Oh, look at my fat.